Yeah, because there are really people out there that's struggling and that's hungry. And we don't know how this thing is going to play out. It could go longer. The government is not an entity that has unlimited resources. Resources do run out. And so if we're not being a productive society, we're not working, we're not producing things, making things, servicing things, things could get really tight around here.
Yeah, we have to work together. That's the only way we're going to be able to make it. If one has something, the other has something else, we need to share. We need to work together to make sure all we're going to make it out.
That's it. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in. This is the Realdealfam Network. I am Andre. This is the gorgeous wife, Essie.
How you doing? Ooh, you said it?
I see it every day.
How you doing?
Oh, thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you hadn't had an opportunity as of yet, please hit that subscribe button. We would highly appreciate it.
We're on a subscriber campaign.
We are.
We need 1,000 subscribers.
1K subscribers. We would highly appreciate it if you could share and like the video as well.
Boop, 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 boop. Like.
Yes, please. Well, with that being out the way, thank y'all again so much for tuning in. We coming to you this evening. We want to talk about the situation that everybody's experiencing right now in terms of a little bit change in lifestyle and something that we all need to survive, which is food. And at a time right now, I think there's been like sort of a food, I guess the stores have been kind of slim in terms of what they selection, what they used to have compared to what they used to have in the store. When it first broke off, this whole virus thing kind of took off. There was a run on the stores. People were going crazy. There was a lot of panic, a lot of confusion. And now that everything is kind of settled in, people are a little bit more accustomed to what's taking place. The stores still haven't quite got themselves back to capacity.
Right, and you see now, it was like dry goods, cans, toilet paper, stuff like that was kind of low. Now they're kind of stocking up more back up on that, but fresh fruits and vegetables are now low, and they're not filling those up quite as much. And so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely in the frozen meat section, you would definitely see a shortage in chicken and things like that. And when they do refill the stock,
beef, steak,
it goes pretty quickly.
And it's expensive.
Very expensive. There's a lot of things that have increased in price, being that it's the demand is so high, and I guess they're not getting it at the same rate that we're getting it at before.
Yeah. So just be mindful of that, and also they have limits. Like now you can only get like limit 1 or limit 2. So my tip is just take a extra person or two to the store, and they say you have to have separate buggies. So just get separate buggies, and that way you're able to stock up at the same time, instead of having to come, leave, go back, and that's just too much gas. So
definitely,
yeah.
And during times right now, it's kind of you can understand why people would go into like a self-preservation mode, and so you'll see people in the stores hoarding different items, and that's probably the reason why they had to put limitations on the amount that one person could get.
Paper.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've seen videos where people were fighting over toilet paper and things of that nature. But at this time, I think you have to be more concerned with not just yourself, but your community as well. We all are a system.
Right, we've been on lockdown now for over about a month.
Yeah, it's been probably a little over a month.
So if you was already short on, tight on groceries, your job ran out and all those different things, you need to check on your family and friends and make sure that they have enough groceries to be able to sustain. So it's getting tight for everybody.
That is very true. And people who are already in a compromised position before it took place, I'm sure it's even rougher now. There's been an absolute strain on the government system in terms of providing aid. People can't get through. Things are getting pretty tough. So it would be nice if you're somebody who has surplus and you would check on somebody else who may not be as fortunate.
Right. That's what the churches are supposed to be for, when you pay tithe and those different things. But as a community, you have to check on your family and friends and make sure that they are okay and able to, have groceries. A lot of people are prideful and they don't want to say that they're in need. So, just stop by, do a drive-by check, maybe just drop off a love basket if you kind of have an inkling, just if you have a little extra yourself, just help your family and friends out.
That's it. I mean, they're highly appreciated, especially as someone with kids. There's nothing worse feeling as a parent than to be low on funds and you can't provide food for your children. I've experienced hunger myself, not to that extent, but anybody who's been in college and didn't have a whole lot.
If you grew up with a single parent household, anytime, back in the old days, food wasn't guaranteed, so you knew how to survive off what was it, bread cookies, where you would smash it up and had fried bologna. You fry that bologna up, throwing some syrup on some bread. You just had to make it happen, so if you can avoid that for your neighbor or your friends or your family, just a little love basket you throw together will help them out. It
will. That's why it's important during good times that you are very productive. You're handling business. You're making sure you have stuff taken care of. That way, even if your family have just enough, you're not pulling resources from them or from your neighbors or anybody, when you could have been getting prepared for things like this just by doing your daily responsibilities.
Right, because then they might be just glad to get rid of you instead of having checking out you, see if you're all right.
Yes.
So yeah.
But that's what the government was designed for when they came and rolled out those social programs, such as the SNAP program and things of that nature.
Yeah, food stamps and Medicaid and all those different programs were supposed to be for that. But at this point in time,
the WIC, things like that.
Yeah, you need to make sure you depend on your community, and community needs to step up.
Yes, because there are a lot of countries out there that don't have social programs. And so during times like this, they depend on other countries to come through with foreign aid. Unfortunate, like we say, just reach out. It doesn't cost you anything just to check on somebody, your neighbors, a family member, or a friend, or something of that nature. Because like she said in the beginning, the church usually fills those roles, but right now they're not operating. And prior to this, a lot of them still wasn't doing things of that nature. So
yeah, so you just need to come together as a community and touch and reach out to different people and check and make sure everybody's doing all right, So
yeah, because there are really people out there that's struggling and that's hungry, and we don't know how this thing is going to play out. It could go longer. The government is not an entity that has unlimited resources. Resources do run out. And so if we're not being a productive society, we're not working, we're not producing things, making things, servicing things, things could get really tight around here.
Yeah, we have to work together. That's the only way we're going to be able to make it. If one has something, another has something else, we need to share. We need to work together to make sure all we're going to make it out.
That's it. So we thank y'all again so much. We just wanted to come to you tonight just to make you aware. Just Don't be only concerned about yourself. Just look outside yourself, and you're going to be blessed for it.
Right.
I'm sure somebody's going to come and check on you and see if you may need something, if you're in a position that you might be compromised a little bit in terms of your food source.
Right. We don't know how much longer it's going to go on, so.
But like we say, stay prayed up, stay diligent, keep yourself safe, your family safe, and we're going to get through this thing. We're going to come out on the other side smelling like roses. So just hang in there. Good Lord always in control. So
Yes, that's right.
oh, thank y'all again so much for tuning in. And before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And leave a comment below. We would like to hear some of the things that's going on in your life that's pertaining to this particular video. It can only bless us and help edify others. We thank you again so much. Good night.
Good night.